So the new resolution of the use, the regulation of the use of ayahuasca in Brazil is like this. You authorize religious use and you recognize the traditional religious uses that are Barquinha, Daime, and UDV, and also the newborn groups that are a variety of combination, a lot of them New Age oriented, practices, but always with a leader in a specific place with a kind of ritual. And what they do not authorize and they consider that is not ethical is the medicinal use, the therapeutical use of ayahuasca. So that's a very interesting historic paradox, because whereas you have like very traditional uses of ayahuasca that are therapeutical, like Peru and Colombia, in Brazil you recognize the religious use of ayahuasca, but you do not recognize the therapeutical uses of ayahuasca. And this is also a little bit funny, because up to the end it seems that all is like a semantic question. And I'll give you an example. You take ayahuasca, you have a problem, and you come back from the session, you say, Jesus saved me, I'm cured. That's okay, that's religious belief. If you come from the session and say, I took ayahuasca cured me, maybe you're doing some illegal practice of medicine, maybe you're a charlatan, maybe you're doing propaganda, maybe you're being unethical to the medical code. So the idea is basically that people don't start advertising that ayahuasca is a miraculous healing tool, and that you can, you can cure the anguish and the problems of the soul, but not so much of the body. Or you can do it on the body, but as a belief, not as a fact. But on the other side, I think it's a little bit silly, okay? But what can you expect? It's a government and it's a drug and it's international worry. I think the situation is pretty good in Brazil, and we should not complain too much, but we should also always try to push it ahead, and to move it the most we can. I am completely anti-prohibitionist. I don't believe in the state interference, but anyway, you need controls and all that. So this resolution, on the other hand, they incentivize the therapeutical research of the uses of ayahuasca. So on the one side, they are like forbidding this, and on the other side, they are incentivizing research, which could also be criticized, because why do you give doctors the status to define if ayahuasca heals or not? Why don't you ask shamans? Why don't you ask religious leaders? Why don't you ask people? Why is the Western, science, the hegemonic worldview that is to say if this works or not? But this is not a problem of ayahuasca and of our legislation. It's a problem of our world. You cannot blame ayahuasca for things that are much wider than ayahuasca, right?